fine.
Yeah.
Come take them down then.
Yeah.
And I'll pay you for for half the money for the work you did for the inverter and the installation of the battery. And we'll see where we go from there onwards. If they might turn and go, maybe we can come to some kind of arrangement.
Yeah.
But the thing is, don't part with your money, like all the money, if you're happy with it, because they will just fuck off probably more likely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, companies are a bit less keen to do that these days because then people start writing reviews, and solar array is. I mean, I was expecting a hold on, let me do the maths. Let me not guess my maths. I was expecting 380 times 18, a theoretical peak of 6,800 watts of power. That's what I was expecting, and obviously the battery is to make sure that that's used. What I've got so far, the peak I've seen is 1,500. So it's not half; it's a quarter. And I was fully aware
that. Does that take into account, of course, the fact that it's today? But I mean, you've got less panels, so fewer panels.
Yeah, but I mean, I was hoping that essentially the front, which was 6 panels, would be about the same as the rear, which is 12 panels, and possibly it would be. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe the front would have been 75%. So yeah, to sort of drop it a lot like that. And I said, the guy was like, "Oh, are you sure you want to go through with this?" I was like, "Oh, to a degree, you might as well." Because when you started off, you were like, "Oh, we can get 2 panels on the front." I was like, "Well, it's not ideal, but we'll do that." And then he went, "Oh, we can't fit any on the front." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well
why not?
Because they don't fit."
What? They're too big? Too small?
They're too big.
What?
If you hold on, I did have a picture. I did a picture. If you jump to there in the chat, in the future chats, that's my house, and then you can see the triangle. That triangle is just a useless bit of roof. It doesn't do anything. It sits in the loft. It's not part of the house. It's complete and total show. So they were hoping to put 2 red panels in. And now they reckon they might be able to fit them, but 2 panels isn't enough to fire the inverter because you put them in series so they give more volts. You need lots of panels. So I said, right, well, if you scroll down to the message at 9 minutes past 2, what I want is exactly the same number of I want panels that are half the size, because then I could obviously fit twice as many on. Because they tessellate better, not more than twice as many. Because excuse my terrible diagram. So they should tessellate better. So if they can get hold of smaller panels, or do they not do like long thin panels? Surely this is not like, whoa, someone's got a funny shaped roof. Surely this isn't a new thing, and they already knew. So yeah,
they came over. Did they not come over and measure?
No. He eyeballed.
I thought they came over. He eyeballed. Yeah, but they quoted you for that.
They quoted me for 18 panels, yeah. But I mean, I don't mind to a degree if I only get 12 panels. What I do mind is they've knocked off, to my mind, not enough money. And if they're like, "Oh, that's what it takes for the scaffolding," I'm like, "Well, okay, but." Or it might be, I haven't got them. So maybe let's say it's 5,000 for the battery, because I have a look. That's about what they are. And then maybe it's 2,000 for the solar panels, and then the other 3,000 is all the electrics. So maybe the electrics, because that doesn't matter. So to fit another 6 panels is no electric work. It all boils down to one cable. I genuinely, I could wire it up. I'm not going to, but I could wire that up myself. So yeah, I would like them to either. Well, maybe I should just say to them, I was a bit on the spot. He's like, "Oh, we're knocking £800 off," and I did say, "Oh, that doesn't seem to be very good." Where's your quick maths? And he just went, "Oh, I don't really deal with that. That's the office. That's just what we were told," which is fair enough, because I'm not going to go. Actually, get a hold of your boss. But because the card machine was flat, they couldn't actually take any money off me. They said, "Can you do a bank transfer?" I'm like, no, I want to pay for it on my credit card because I get extra protections. I know about that. Whether or not I get a cooling off period, I don't know. It sort of fits it because I hadn't seen the items in person. That's the law. It's not to do with whether you bought it online. It's to do whether or not you... And if you buy a sofa, I guess you have seen the sofa in that case. But obviously I haven't seen these solar panels. But, don't get me wrong, the hardware's wicked. I'm just sitting here just staring at the graphs going, oh, that's really cool. And as I said, because I don't have a smart meter for reasons of I don't really know why, it's super cool to see my house and how much electricity it's pulling. Although, as I said, I don't know, I couldn't get it down to nothing. Right now, I'm pulling 900 watts, of which, and again, I don't know why, 780 watts is coming from the grid, and 30 watts is coming from the battery. Maybe it's learning, but I assume it doesn't just cane the battery the moment the sun goes down. I think it tries to spread it out over the night. So I'm drawing a bit less current for a larger period of time from the grid, which is, maybe that's better for the grid. Maybe I can set it.
Would it be better for the battery, to be fair?
Yeah.
Not when it's flat.
Yeah, no, it's an LFP battery. It doesn't give a shit about going flat. It's
LFP, lithium ferrite?
Lithium ferrous phosphate. An iron, what they call an iron air battery, I believe. But yeah, they're the same batteries that are in a lot of modern EVs. You can charge them full, you can run them flat. They don't give a shit. They're not like. So I was also supposed to do that podcast. It's all on my brain. So it's not like mobile phones, which are lithium cobalt oxide, which are the exact opposite. They detest running flat and they hate being charged to full. But yeah, if I can get the 1,500 back, all they say to me, oh, actually, it's the it's the electricity cost. That costs £1,500 because they have to do a bunch of stuff to get me on the grid. So I'm a provider to the grid and all that stuff. Like they have to do some paperwork. So maybe that is more than I'm seeing. It just feels like, actually, I'm not sure of your maths. But I'm hoping I can amicably say to them, what I would actually like you to do is to fit a bunch of smaller panels. Or tell me specifically what panels you need. Because I could buy panels off eBay. Like, you can just buy them. Like, solar panels stop being a weird and wonderful thing. Normally the issue is what inverter do I get and, what set of strings and all that. But more or less it's just this big chunky wire that feeds into the inverter, and I've just got one chunky wire, whereas it will take two. But the chances of me actually ending up with enough spare power so I can actually do anything with it is quite minimal. I'll make enough so I'm not spending any electricity, but there's no way I could charge my car or my bike. Like, those will just massively outrun the battery and the array.
Flatten it super quick.
Well, yeah, the point is that the battery's there for now. The battery's there to run whilst the sun's down. So the idea is that hopefully you fill up your battery while the sun's up, and then I can then charge the car. That's the plan. But yeah, I will give them a polite call, just saying, can you please explain to me the breakdown of why you charge me what you charge me? Because I'm not that concerned.
Just say in the most polite way possible. Just, I'm not really very happy.
Yeah.
Well, not really very happy, but it's not really what we'd agree, which is causing me a bit of problems.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah.
And also, if they say, well, you agreed to it, I'll go, well, I was very much put on the spot at this point. Because at this point, I'm not joking, there were a dozen workmen at my house going, oh, do you want to do it or not? I'm like, well, I mean, well, again, I was like, well, what will I get? Oh, not as much, barely anything. Like, right, okay, but do you mean 90% or do you mean 5%? And I had a guy that said I would get this, that, and the other. Like, that was what you initially sort of suggested quite clearly. So, yeah, but, when I've literally had two guys out my house putting scaffolding up for 2 hours and they're like, oh, well, do you want to go through with that? Like, well, do I get charged for the scaffolding if I say no? I mean, How does
I
any
would
of
have
this
thought
work?
you would.
Like, how does any of this work? Well, someone's going to lose out, certainly.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they've quoted for an entire job and they've not delivered the entire job, so surely he shouldn't be the one paying for that.
Well, as I said, if
you get on a bus and they take you half the way, but you've already paid the ticket or something like that, they don't just go, sorry, mate, you've had shit out of luck. Well, even they give you we'll get another bus here, we'll put you on another bus.
Yeah.
Even they do that.
But as I said, it's mostly what I'm unhappy about is partly the mess, which I think is, given that this is the third most expensive thing I've ever bought in my entire life. Like, the people who did my loft were amazing. Absolutely cleaned up after themselves, brought Hoover, did everything. Like, just wonderful.
When you say people who did your loft, what do you mean?
I've got my loft partly boarded up.
Okay.
Quite nice.
But you got some people to come in and do your loft and like board up the loft?
Yes. Yeah, that's...
When was that? If you don't mind, how much was that cost you?
So, as ever, and I'm beginning to discover this a lot with Workman, what they said they would do and what they actually did are very different. Because they went, well, yeah. I think I was quoted for... I think I have 500 square feet in the loft, and they reckon they would do 150. Like, okay, then they looked at it and went, it's going to be really awkward to do that because of the stupid beams. The beams in my loft are just this terrible, terrible, terrible layout. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. And so they didn't do as much as they thought they were going to, and then charged me a bit less money and took some wood away. And I was like, oh, okay, but yeah. So I have 500 square feet of loft, of which 100 square feet is useful and sensible, and something like 400 square feet is not very easy to get to. Hence, see the pictures said in the friends in the channel.
So, did they increase the insulation and then put boards down? Did they have to raise the floor? They just literally put boards down.
No. So let's say my rafters are. Sorry, you're young. Let's say my rafters are 20 centimeters. My insulation is 30 centimeters. So the insulation went above the planks of wood quite a way. So they've had to. It's all been raised up on joists.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. That's my point. So I was going to say, how many mils have you actually got? Have you actually got 30 centimeters of insulation?
I don't know. Whatever it's got, it's raised up above it.
Okay. So it'll be.
I have no idea.
270 or 3. Yeah, I've been looking into this and got a quote for it recently, and went, you can fuck off. Basically, for the raw materials of 500 quid, and they were quoting me. So this is just the insulation, sorry, and they were quoting £2,000 to have the insulation put in the loft. So I can.
Do it yourself.
Exactly, but I can go there and buy the materials for 500 quid and get it done. Just be like, okay, roll it out, done, fine. Or I can go and get someone else to do it and do it exactly the same job, exactly the same materials for £2,000. And that was like, and then we'll charge you extra for boarding it up. I was like, whoa. I don't really care for the installation. The boards will actually want.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is why I was like interested in looking at recently going, what?
Yeah, the installation for, I think for 150 square feet was going to be £1,100, something like that. And I did get a few quotes in.
And that's
pretty good.
Insulation and boarding.
No, they didn't touch the insulation. Oh, God, no.
They haven't added insulation.
No, the thing was, it wasn't as simple as put boards between the joists, because that would have.
You've got to put the feet on there first, and then
it all had to be raised up a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, currently we've got, I think it's 150 mil of insulation only. So really, you need to add more. I think another 150 to make it 300. But as I said, that's 500 quid's worth of materials, which is. But the problem with it is, if you actually look at the figure, so much diminishing return. So basically, they reckon like the first 100 mil saves you about 120 mil. They reckon saves about 90% of the heat loss.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Then you add another. I think it's what was it? It goes up to. But you think you add another 120 or something like that, and then they reckon that's what their estimation is, and then you lose another. You save another 6%.
Do you know what would also help? Putting an inch of wood above all the insulation. That helps.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you telling me you can't find anyone who will board up your loft because they want to insulate it first?
No, my point is though, there's no point in me. I can insulate the loft myself, and then could say, "Hey, can someone else come and board up the loft?"
Yeah.
But I've realised in hindsight, actually, I don't really care. The loft's huge anyway, but I don't really care for boarding up the loft that much. All I need to have is some boards down the centre, which I can do myself. It's not a big problem. And then you can buy these. What are they called? Loft ledges, I think there's actually the technical term.
I've seen some loft risers as well.
Loft right? Do you mean risers?
I do mean right. Yeah, are they called loft board right? Something like that.
I'm talking about loft ledges.
But they basically you put them on the joists and they raise up. So yeah. But yeah, I did also look because
they give you a bit of storage space between the rafters on the left. So if you're walking down the middle of your loft, for instance, on the side, you can have some storage there, which is basically generally kind of semi-dead space anyway.
I did have to laugh though because I also found them on Thingiverse and I'm like, no,
3D print.
Like, I could because they don't like it's 3D printing depends. 3D prints are incredibly strong in certain directions, and one of them is compression. They take 800 tons under compression, just not so much under what's the other one? Not retraction.
Expansion.
No, not expansion.
No.
When you're pulling something apart. Tension. That makes sense, yes.
You know the game's grown mushrooms through a moving conveyor belt.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
It's not that I don't believe you, I just want to say.
Over here.
But that doesn't... What?
Yes. It's much better shittery, is it not?
That doesn't make much sense.
No.
What is interesting is, so there are... I can get a faster update, but I get an update on the power every couple of minutes or so. Yeah, I'm drawing 900 watts on my whole house, and that's with 2 PCs and the aircon on.
Say growing. What did you say? You're watting 900 watts?
Drawing.
Oh, drawing. It sounded like you said growing. I was like, no. I'm growing what? 2. By the way, when you said 2 watts, I did make myself chuckle.
Well done. I'm currently generating 0 watts. Happy? It generated 2 watts for quite a while, and then 1 watt for quite a while after the sun, what I would have said, have gone down. Hello, Mr. Flops. I'm okay. I was just bitching. I had solar panels installed today, and I am...
Did you?
Not as happy as yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping that they can just say, yeah, we can get these panels. You know, it will cost an extra £1,000 to come and fit them because we've got to... I'm like, yeah, that's fine. You know, I understand that. Maybe that's the number. If they go, it's going to be £2,000. I'm like, yeah, I think, yeah. But
whilst... You say if it's going to cost an extra £1,000, I understand that. Like, if they turn around and said, the panels themselves are more expensive. Look, these are the panels that we were originally going to install, and these are the panels that you want, and you're paying more for different panels. I understand that as well. But if they're just like, well, the panels are the same cost or less, which won't make any sense. But if they were to do something like that and just say, but we're going to charge you because we fucked up and didn't plan properly. Like, sorry, you guys need to kind of deal better with your business.
It's just one of those where,
again, it's an end problem.
If I have a choice between being slightly arsey and getting nothing, or going, all right then, and then getting what I want, I'll always go with the getting what I want.
I mean, go get what you want in that case. But then, I mean, as you said, like, right. I mean, I'm. It's just that's not what you've asked for, or they've quoted you for, or they wanted you on the spot to pay for.
Yeah,
that's what really confused. Like. Yeah, it's just not right. And the problem with it is you'll get a load of people then potentially being like, oh, you know, well, I'll use these guys, and they took some photos of these panels they installed. Actually, you're not happy with them.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, as a rule these days, companies are a lot better at dealing with your complaints in the olden days, because you can then go, right, well, you know, that's fine, you're not going to deal with it, I'm very unhappy, I will be making sure that's known on the internet, you know, I will be asked to review this.
And the ombudsman finds out.
Yeah, and it's but in the old days you could just screw people up continuously. If you're a garage, how's anyone going to find out? Take out an ad in the local newspaper.
What a math.
Yeah, so are solar panels worth the cost? Yes, absolutely.
It depends whether you get them put on the north or the south side of your house.
No, they are absolutely worth the cost. This is not a discussion. There's not even any maths to be done. They are absolutely worth the cost. The only question is just how quickly they're worth it. So, before the new price cap, which should be 38 pence a kilowatt, when we were looking at price caps of whatever it was, £1.30 in March,
Very quick interjection, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
That 38 pence, is that based on the truss cap?
Yeah, 3,500 cap. Yeah.
Okay.
It might be
2,500.
It might be. Sorry, 25. It might be a bit more. It might be a bit less. But basically, I took the old cap and what that was, and divided by the new cap, and got my answer there.
Sorry, just had to find out if that was the same. But yes, please carry on.
But I might be out by a couple of pence. So yeah, when it was looking like £1.10 a kilowatt, at that point my payback was insane, like 7 months or something like that. Now it will be slower, but given what it looks like is actually going to happen, which is Truss basically appears to be doing her best. Yeah, well, she's doing her best to make more money for Shell, as far as I can work out.
I think she's basically found a reason that the oil and gas companies can make some more money.
Well, it does,
and then be like, "Hey, look, it'll feed the pockets of government, etc."
Well, it does look like they're actually going to start changing the way the electricity cap works. Thankfully, because the way it works is massively outdated. So it does look like that they are actually going to go, "This is stupid," because it is stupid, and that should
currently based on the wholesale price of gas.
Yeah. So right now, if you make electricity with gas, you're making some money. If you make electricity with solar, you're making shit tons of money. Which is, kind of good, because I'm happier for those people to make money than the gas ones. But now we're talking about we're going to start drilling more on the North Sea. We're going to start fracking again. It's like, oh, fuck me. What is this? 1982? You can start the fucking coal mines as well while you're at it.
You wait, they will. It's not, though, like they've turned around and been like, oh, you know what, we are putting in policy to start up these, or at least increase the usage of these processes for a period of time until such dates that we can, do X, Y, Z, or
Well,
they've just gone now. It's start up again.
Yeah, well, they haven't. They haven't said much apart from So they're earmarking 150 billion essentially to pay off the difference. They're paying the energy companies directly instead of us paying, and it's really hilarious to think that that's it, because I am still paying. That's what taxes are. So to say that the government's paying for it, not me, I was like, it's not. Yeah, okay.
No, it works.
It's all just. I don't actually say this very often, but it is all just spin doctoring on the fact that the government. They're literally just. I think. They've kind of, to be honest, like Liz Truss and Boris Johnson are just kind of have been in cahoots for a long time, haven't they? Really. So I mean, to come in and be like, oh yeah, look at what I've done in the first day or something, it's just bollocks. Like, so I don't know if you saw. It's been done for a long period of time. Let's be honest.
Did you see the question Theresa May asked?
Brilliant. I don't remember. Go on.
She asked why we haven't built any solar panels, any nuclear power stations. And it's like, what? You've been in power for a decade and a half. Why haven't you built any nuclear power? They're like, oh, Labour should have built them. It's like, when was Labour in power?
Yeah, they just blame everyone else. They do. That's it.
But Labour was in power in 2008. Now, don't get me wrong. If Labour had built the power stations, they'd be coming online now. But they didn't. But yeah, like blaming Labour for not having built power stations is just like, what?
Like blaming neighbours for not watering your front garden.
Well, no, it's like blaming the people who used to live in your house for not watering your front garden. Like, but you've lived here for 10 years. Doesn't matter who used to live there. It's just madness. Oh, yeah. My battery's under 41%.
Under?
I wonder if it just supplies like 20% of my load via the battery or something. Because I turned the aircon on, so about 900 watts. As I said, I turned everything off in my house. Everything. And I can't get it under 200 watts, and I don't know why. But that might be...
Standby?
Might be what, sorry?
That's what I said. Yeah, but when he said turn stuff off, apparently he doesn't mean turn stuff off. He means unplug stuff from the wall. Or he's lying to me.
The only thing I didn't turn off at that point was the router, which pulls 15 watts, and my computer in sleep mode, which pulls 10. I've got wall monitors on those. But then I just turned everything. I turned everything off.
Central heating.
No, that was. Yeah, you're right. Well, first of all, central heating doesn't draw 200 watts.
No, it's a control box.
Yeah,
it's got a pump. Yeah,
it doesn't.
I don't know if it's running or not.
It runs a lot more than 200 watts. Like 200 watts is not very much. But I can't work out what's drawing 200 watts. But then I went in the loft and the inverter is hot. So I'm wondering if the inverter uses up some power. The bit where it's charging the battery. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, yeah, you say that you haven't also got the. I mean, you're right, but you haven't also got the part which basically means that it's off the grid, have you? So
No.
I wonder whether the inverter itself is only powered from the grid, if that makes sense.
I think the inverter is actually only powered off solar because I don't think the electricity runs that way. Oh, no, it could do because I could charge the battery off the grid if I wanted, but I don't have a variable tariff. So there's no point.
So if that's an example, if those don't work when there's no power, I don't know. I don't know how it works.
But
I'm just trying to work it out.
Yeah, I don't have what's called island mode. That gets a lot more expensive. Yeah,
that's the title. Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna put this food by the way.
What food? I'm just cooking it to get. I'm just cooking it to get levels. That's the only reason I'm making it.
I don't really know what I'm doing at the moment in this.
I'm just cooking stuff and chatting really. Yeah. What am I?
We haven't talked about the big topic supposedly.
Well, I'm a bit sad about that. So
six channels.
I saw that. Loads of channels talking about it. But,
yeah. Oh God, I'm in a lot of Discord servers. Like, oh bloody hell, on Facebook and just. We're all very sad. She was awesome.
Topic.
We don't care about Prince Charles and never have. The end.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up.
Yeah.
I think she's awesome because she's always set a pretty damn good example and hasn't really gotten involved.
Yeah,
whereas technically she could have. There'd be a complete uproar, but she could.
Oh, don't cook gold food. No, we haven't cooked any gold food. We've stored all of it.
Oh, whoops.
Because I've grabbed that because I don't have enough skill levels to guarantee epic food from cooking gold yet.
But I mean, when did she take power?
19 something.
72
years ago. I was 32.
No, but my point is though that like we've all only ever known
my mum
as our queen.
My mum has only ever known her as our queen.
Yeah. So it's a staple is probably the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a given.
How's the Archmage? Which Archmage?
Archmage?
So it's National EV Day tomorrow, so I am going to a meet at a petrol station.
Your petrol car, yeah.
I thought about I got a nail. This is the other thing, and I can't necessarily blame them, but I got a nail in my Impreza tire today, and I only moved the car 30 feet. And I have a horrible feeling it was their fault, but I can't prove that, unfortunately. So, yeah. All in all, today's been a bit of a bummer, sir. But I'm happy with the bits of. I just wish I could just get the rest of the solar. So I'm hoping I can go to them, and they say, "Oh, we don't do those panels." I'm like, okay. Then,
I can get them on eBay.
Yeah,
come back and fit them in a week's time.
Can you fit them if I get a hold of the panels, or they'll let me know? Then I will just have to find another installer going, "Hello, do you install solar? Excellent. I want smaller panels because I have an odd-shaped roof." The thing is, they don't like small panels because there's more wiring. You know, it fundamentally is more awkward to fit.
More time spent on site.
But theoretically, then they would just quote you for that. It would be like, hey, so we can install the smaller panels, which you get more for, but they take longer. Therefore, there's more in the cost of labour.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, that's all I can get, so I completely understand it. And they'll be like, cool, well, the labour for these big panels is this, the labour for the small panels is that. It's itemised. You know what you're getting. You know what you're paying.
Yeah.
But apparently not. This is my point. This is why when they haven't done their job, they've missed doing their job properly twice. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they didn't clean up after themselves. I mean, that's a pretty big howler in my book.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's with the
if the grand.
It's like in retrospect, I should have gone. You know what? I actually want. Where's the potion thing? I should have gone. You know what? I want an itemized bill. Oh, but
at
the time, it's fine. But it's a job lot.
Well, you say that it's not
Oh,
even
I
that.
haven't
It's
moved
more
the
a case of
potion.
like
I moved the jewelry stuff. Potion stuff's still there.
it's like not only do you like you're now probably always, and I'm gonna this is like going to get an itemized bill. To be honest, my wife being an accountant always does that kind of stuff anyway. She was like, yeah, give us an itemized bill.
Well,
But my point is that like you'll also make sure that you've got more backups in case you get a bit again. And I said it could turn out they might turn around and be like, yes, of course so. Yeah, we'll sort that out. Let's fix it.
Yeah, well,
and be fantastic. In which case you would probably then go on and give a review saying, look, unfortunately this was the actual case.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job of rectifying it. I would recommend them for their
yeah. I mean, it's like with the rat. It's like with the rat place. My rap's got serious issues, but it's first of all not their fault. The company that fitted it. You know, I've chatted with them extensively. They're like, we're really sorry, but it's not our fault. But we are responsible for it. We'll deal with it. Excellent. And you know,
why is it not their fault?
Because it's the glue.
On it?
It's the glue that's the issue, and they don't do the glue. They just buy the wrap. So they are probably dropping the supplier of wrap because it's just been such a disaster. But it doesn't matter. They are dealing with it, and in this case, I would like to get a phone call from Brookfield Smart saying, "Okay, so we didn't fit the 6 panels. We will source these for you and get them sorted." That's what I want. I wanted X, Y, and Z. I wanted you to supply me X, Y, and Z. I will do the legwork if I have to, but I'm not going to be massively happy about it, and I would much rather.
The word you want to use is disappointed.
Yes, I'm disappointed. I'm not angry.
angry.
I'm just disappointed. Yes.
No, because if you say disappointed, they'll just be like, oh no, that's a shame. Anyway, pay us. Yeah, if you turn around and say, the problem is that what you quoted me for and what you've delivered are not the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would where I would have to start using phrases like, well, you know, I understand, but at this point, you haven't delivered me what we initially agreed upon. I'm only getting, so far, I'm only getting about a fifth, a quarter of what I was expecting. You haven't given me half as much as I was expecting. It is a lot less, and at this point, I don't really know. Honestly,
don't say expecting. Don't say expecting. Just say what they quoted you for. Because the other thing is, you'd be like, look, it's If you'd have quoted me and said, look, we can only fit this many panels, you would have either reconsidered it, or worked out another way of doing it.
Yeah. Well, they quoted me for 6,840 watts of panels.
Yeah.
And they fitted 4,200 watts of panel. No, they didn't. They fitted it. No, I multiplied it wrong.
Oh.
But that's the thing.
They fitted 2,200 watts of panels. Now, bear in mind, so far, the peak I've seen, and it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon in September, I've seen 1,500 watts at those panels so far. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But unfortunately, even if I get the whole 2,200 watts all the time, that's pretty much my electricity usage. That's just about breaking even, which is cool. That's good. That is, to a degree, a £330 a month saving in my electricity bill. But that means I'm not offloading to the grid. I'm not filling up the house battery. I'm not filling up the car. I'm not filling up the bike. It doesn't provide anywhere near what I had,
anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, I did do some maths. I'm not just completely mad. But obviously, it's on the spot of what do you want to do? Like, I couldn't. Was I supposed to go?
Just be like, I would. Usually, yeah. What do you want to do? What I asked for.
Hold on, I seem to call that was what I. That was the.
Just jury rig something up and fit the bloody panels.
Well, yeah.
That's what I might have said. Just fit it. Fucking stop making excuses.
No, the problem is they could fit 2 panels on the front, but that would not have fired up the inverter. It wouldn't have provided enough current because you wire panels up in series.
Why don't you just put a lead across the top of the roof to go to the other side where the rest of the panels are?
Because in a string of panels, I've done my research. In a string of panels, let's say you've got 3 panels in parallel, in series for whatever reason, and you get sun on one of the panels, the other 2 panels will only provide as much electricity as the least panel. So if I've got panels on the front of the house and panels on the back, and the sun's at the front of the house, so therefore the panels at the back aren't making very much, the panels on the front can't deliver very much. It's just fundamentally how it's wired up. So it would need to be front and the back would need to be wired together. But him just going, I don't think I've ever, we don't do any smaller panels. It's like, but they fucking exist. You're telling me you only deal with one supplier of solar panels and they don't do any other types? It looks like they're a really, really, really big company. Like, enormous company. Where one of the world's largest investors in renewable power. Assuming they're related. And if they're a really big company, big companies do tend to be much easier to work with because they're like, we don't even want to argue.
Yeah, I'll be surprised though if there's that big a company and they've given you that shitty a invoice and,
Well, that was
something I could have knocked up in Excel in 5 minutes.
Well,
that makes sense.
That invoice is from the surveyor who came around.
He didn't look at the apex at the front going,
he did.
You're jumping ahead a little bit. Who employed the surveyor?
Brookfield did, yes, absolutely. It wasn't me.
Exactly. If they go, the surveyor didn't do a very good job. Okay, well then they need to get their money back from the surveyor for, they paid to quote to do a job and he did not do a very good job or did not do what he was meant to do.
They do electric vehicle chargers as well. But they said we'll just next time we're in the area we'll come and we'll take the money off you on the card, because I said I don't want to do it by bank transfer. I want to do it via card because I can do it on the credit card and you get extra insurance and coverage and stuff.
Wait, if you were to pick up your house and move it somewhere else, they could be able to take the money from you.
Couldn't find.
I have an idea, Adam.
Aha. Have you seen Howl's Moving Castle? No. You see, Skycast. One of the things we have a channel on our Discord, and what I don't accept on that channel or on this topic of conversation is phrases like that. Bollocks. You're like, it doesn't work too well on snowy or overcast days. That's just not true. And I'm getting a little bit tired of when it comes to stuff that people don't really know. They just say something. It's like, fucking look it up. Like, don't get me wrong, you get less energy on an overcast day. Of course you do. But you're talking about 75, 80%. You're not talking about 5% to say, they don't work too well. It's just not true. They don't work as well. Absolutely. I don't know why you think they won't work when they're snowy, because they just run a little bit of current through them to melt the snow off. We don't tend to get a lot of snow though. That's not really a concern. It's the same thing with the with my aircon. Like if it's below 0 outside, it will run the aircon in reverse for a bit to warm the outside bit up. But
doesn't stop the gas running because the gas boils at minus 55 degrees if you've got R32 in it.
Yeah, but it's just because you don't want ice on the outside of the box. Okay, if you own solar, then give me a number for the efficiency of a modern, brand new solar panel in an overcast day.
It's a very loud ping.
That's my phone. Yes, it is, isn't it?
Ping.
I mean, my one is obviously it's.
Is it in English? Is it a European or a African solar panel?
Chinese. Don't be stupid.
Ugh.
What's it's Chinese? I'm just trying to work out what panels I've got. Like
what, you reckon it's going to be better buying America? Oh wait, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Charge 6 times more for it too.
For an American thing.
Yes, very much so.
I've just got a
If
fit.
it broke you.
I've just
You're saying words, Adam.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Then you started talking, so I stopped. But then you heard me talking, so you stopped.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just trying to. I don't think I have any documentation of what panels they use. You see, like exactly what panels I've got. All I have is a lot of stuff for the inverter.
Stuff.
Yeah, work completed. Installation of 6 kilowatt PV polar system. Well, you didn't.
I've got a chap coming tomorrow to talk to me about putting solar panels in, so this is very pertinent.
Yeah. Well, the issue is just very simple. The issue is whoever did the original measuring didn't do accurate enough job. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And
so you went, oh yeah, slap £2 on the front, job done, sort of thing.
Yeah,
not realising that would mean you can't run the inverter.
well, yeah, I mean that's the other thing because the original plan was 6 on the front, 12 on the back, because that's what the surveyor recommended. But the panels, it's not far off, and you can fit the 2, but you can't then fit the 2 next to the 2. So you can't fit 6, you can fit 2, but only just. I mean, they were out by a handful of centimeters. This is. I've just got documentation on the battery and the inverter. But yeah, if it had all gone according to plan, I'd have been totes happy with it. I'd have been really, really, really happy with it.
That whole energy density thing.
Yeah.
They talk over each other.
So you go, Ted.
Oh, what a day you're having. Your solar's going in poorly. Your monarchy is all shaken up.
I've got a nail in the tire of my Impreza.
Okay, that one's probably the worst. Oh,
yeah,
no.
I know. Well, thankfully, these are my cheap tires that I use for road rather than my more expensive track tires, yeah.
You have a second set of wheels.
You say that now, Tad. And now one of his solar panels is going to set fire to the top of the roof of his house tonight, isn't it?
Oh, don't be Mr. Negative Nancy.
Tiles don't catch fire.
On a cloudy day, you can expect 20% reduction in your output of a solar panel. Oh, I did find numbers though. Did you mention EVs catching fire?
No. Roof panels. Solar panels.
Solar panels catching. What? Why would they catch fire? They're made of glass.
I was taking the piss.
I was being facetious.
I was saying you've had such a bad day. The next thing that's going to happen is one of your solar panels going to catch fire.
Well, no, it'd be the battery that catches fire. But as I said earlier, one of the stats I get is the temperature of the loft via the temperature sensors in the battery. I was like, that's quite amusing. So right now my battery is it's massively dropped in temperature because it's cold. It's at 20.9 degrees, the battery, which I found quite interesting.
How many cables does run around the house to connect all this lot up?
One cable from the solar panels, one cable for each string of panels to the inverter, and one cable from the inverter to the main supply. But do you want to know the best bit? He didn't turn
Did it actually happen though?
He didn't turn the electricity off.
What?
Spicy.
Yeah, I was expecting a 20-minute period of no electricity, but he did it without turning the electricity off, and I was like, it's all done. I'm like, really? What?
I suppose you got to just wire into a fuse. It's your fuse box where you got the capability just to throw it in on a switched off sort of spur and then switch it on.
Yeah, but how is it going to attach to the fuse box? Because the fuse box is still.
You turn the fuses off, or you remove the fuse.
Adam, I have a question for you. Do you have 2 consumer units?
By consumer unit, do you mean the white box with the breakers?
Fuse boards.
You mean
yes,
the what? Yeah, well, I've got one in
units.
I've got one in the garage and one in the house. No, I do not have 2.
You've got one in the garage and one in the house. No, you do not have 2.
Well, yeah, but they didn't go in the garage, so.
So they plugged it into the main one.
Yeah, but no, you don't plug it into the. You don't plug it into the fuse box. You plug it into the. You plug it actually into the. You plug it the other side of the fuse that comes into your house. As far as I know, because I did have
DNO. Is it DNO? No, it's not a DNO. What's it called?
A DNO is the distributed network operator. I had a look, and it's a freaking chunky cable at that point. But yeah, he did. I'm assuming that he's done it, by the way, and it's the box isn't the app's not just lying to me, going, "Oh no, we've definitely." Because I wouldn't know. It could say, "Yeah, we're generating loads of electricity. Yeah, it's all going." I wouldn't know till 6 months down the line. And I went, "My bills are the same. I'm sure they get smaller."
No, as you said, it's like, how's he connected up if he's not turned the power off?
I don't know. I might go outside and check. That's not a very helpful diagram.
And when you say they've got one cable that's I presume they just use a standard armored cable. Oh no,
the cable just goes out from the loft straight down the side of the house, then in at the
external to your house. Interesting.
Yeah, well, bear in mind it's a 3-story house. It wouldn't really work.
Yeah, I guess your consumer unit's probably on the ground floor as well, right?
It is.
That's one of the nice things about owning a bungalow.
Stop saying
You just go, I need to get cables around. Well, just straight up. There's the loft. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can't find anywhere on their website, unfortunately, what they use, and that's annoying.
Can you get a reference to these other panels though?
Well, I mean, I bear in mind I do have scaffolding up in my house. I could climb up there and see what panels they are.
No, I just meant
Adam. Jokes aside, that's probably actually really a good idea. Because genuinely, I'd say that because if you know what models the panels are, and when are you otherwise going to get a chance to look at it? The only thing I would say is if it's raining, etc., or if you have an accident or something like that, then you're fucked. But if you go up there and have a look at them, you know what they're rated for. You know whether or not the panels they've actually given you are rated for what you've paid for as well.
Well,
but also it means that if someone says to you, "Well, what have they installed?" You can say, "It's this picture, this panel. I've taken a picture of them. This is what they've given us," and they can just go, "Oh, I know what that is. Cool. We can plan something else to go well with those panels." I don't know.
Well, no, that thankfully it's on a different inverter string, so that doesn't matter. Also, that's the point. I guess because I got the one string.
But now I want to dip out the game to look at panels. Well, instead of playing CoreKeeper, we're just busy looking at solar panels on eBay.
I mean, sometimes when we're playing games, it's we're here to chat. So mine are 380 watt panels, and it looks like from a company called Zero Home Bills, I could buy panels of that wattage for £113 or 198, if I would say, but. It looks like it's probably JA Solar, because LG also do a panel, and it's really expensive for exactly the same wattage. So it's probably JA Solar. It might be Canadian Solar. I wonder where they're from.
France.
Some.
So do Sunsync actually do their own panels?
Doubt it.
I don't think they do. Products, solar panels, okay, they totally do. Oh, right. So they do Canadian Solar and JA Solar and Solar Edge. So yeah, that's fine. So let's assume, as I said, if I grab that picture of my house,
My house is amazing. Give it a lick, it tastes just like raisins.
No, it's awful.
For that, as opposed to his house in the middle of his street.
So
his house,
really,
in the middle of his street.
There you go.
So it's not a very good diagram, but yeah, I should probably be able to get more panels. I could probably get 6. Now, if these are 380 watt panels, and I want ones half and half, I'm looking for panels. I can't do the maths in my head because it's been a long day. I'm looking for 95 watt panels, basically, which do exist. Monocrystal, yes, they do exist. So I want those. Or flexible solar panels. Oh, they're expensive.
Oh, flexible.
Is it flexible, sir? Is it? Do you like it flexing, sir? Do you?
Oh my God.
She's a bit filthy, is she?
I'll tell you what, though, 100 watt flexible solar panels are a shit ton more expensive. Maybe they're 100 watts. Maybe it's the other way. Maybe it's 90.
Did you get that reference, by the way?
No, he doesn't. Why would he get that? So So the problem you've got is what I'm seeing here is much more expensive solar panels designed for like caravan rooftops and things. But yeah, I'm still. The thing is, I might be looking at substantially more money because just the way it works. These are. Oh wow, this panel is fitted with 5 meters of special solar cable.
Look out, people!
What a brilliant brand, Sunshine solar panels.
Don't sound dodgy at all.
Yeah,
they could have called the company Lollipops and Rainbows. Lollipops and Rainbows.
And rainbows, you say?
Yeah.
Dimensions. So these are. So I'm looking for something about 0.5 meter by 1.4 meters.
Nice.
Wide solar panels.
What do you think? I've fixed the industrial sector.
Sorry, say that again.
I have spiffied up the industrial sector.
Oh.
Also, I'm learning. Here we go. So I've probably got these ones. They're 1 meter by
Lovely bunch of coconuts.
by 2.1 meters. So that is a medium-sized solar panel. But then you get half-size solar panels, which are only 60 cells. It's one of those. I found this before. I very rapidly end up learning more than people who do this for a living because they don't need to worry about like tech coming up and alternatives. They just sell A, we do A. But I might need what's called half-cut solar panels, which are 60 solar cells, not 120 solar cells. So that is only 1 meter by 0.4. It might be more cabling and everything.
They don't like doing that.
Half-cut panels, they are more expensive. They have more potential for solaring defects. Okay, well, obviously. UK solar half-cut panels. But it just looks like 60 cell panels are... these ones reckons it improves its performance and durability.
Bifacial technology.
Half cell? No, half.
I have an inappropriate comment I was thinking after you said that.
I don't want half cell panels. I want half cut, but it looks like people are mixing and matching that. But I would hope, you see, what I want is a good relationship with these people, so I can go back and go, hello, I'd like to spend some more money with you, rather than, I'm very unhappy about this. Yeah, there are half cell and half cut. Half cut. Yeah, so you've also got solar panels where they're the same size, but you have twice as many smaller cells on it. Actually, that's more what I want there. They're the right shape. These ones, you see, I seem to have a hard time trying to explain to the nice workman. If you had twice as many panels that were half the size, if you had 4 times as many panels that were half the size, they cover the same area, but they tessellate better. And they just look to me like, well, I'm like, dude, have you not played Tetris? Like, what the fuck? Come on, you're trying to arrange lots of little things, not lots of big things. The problem is, I was a little bit flustered. I couldn't go to the point of, all right, can we fit them on the garage? What are my other options here? I can contact my neighbour if you need to go a bit onto his. I don't think he's going to mind. Oh, wow, these people are actually from Leeds as well. Solar Energy Store. These ones are JA Solar 335 watts. Yes, these ones are 2 meters by 1 meter. I am kind of tempted to climb up on the scaffolding and measure the panels, but that might not be as. It looks quite stable, but it might not also be a sensible idea. Yeah.
But have they given any photos of what they put up there?
No. I mean, I know it's there.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, I can check the app. I definitely was making some sort of power. The sun was out. I'm really curious when I wake up tomorrow, though, to see what time it starts making power and whether or not... What I will need, ideally, is the battery to be full before I get out of bed. And ideally, the solar panels to supply more power than I use, on average, during the day. So at the end of the day, the battery is also full. And it means that, you know, if I use the kettle, that just dips into the battery for a bit. And that means at the end of the day, I will have several hours of battery power. Quite weirdly, I mean, unless I start to absolutely do something ridiculous, I'm going to go to bed with the battery at about 40% power. So it's like...
talking about things that are left on idling and consuming power.
250 watts I was missing. Can't work out.
Yeah, so some of that would be the fridge freezer, potentially.
No.
If the fridge freezer was firing.
Turn those both off.
Really? Blimey.
Only for like 10 minutes. I didn't leave them off for hours. I just turned them off going, right.
I get it.
Just in case it was like, oh my God, how much is it using? So not that.
Have an answer machine?
If I did have an answer machine and it used up 200 watts, I would...
No. But lots of little things all contribute to a bigger number, right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of little things that can be left on that will just gobble, you know.
I mean, I
found my washing machine took a lot idling. I'm like, why? I had to fiddle with it and realise it wasn't. There are things that will just draw power.
Yeah, I agree there were things that draw power, but they are... I'd have to have a lot of things drawing... I'd have to have, 12 things drawing 20 watts apiece.
It's easy to draw that, though. Like, I have lots of computers left plugged in, you know. Unless I turn the computers off at the wall, which I make a point of doing, you know, I can soon start and look at my smart meter and go, yeah, I know exactly what's drawing power, because I know, because I'm staring at it a lot.
Yeah, my PC on sleeps like 12 watts. My router, when it's running, is 25 or something. You know, so it wasn't those, but I was just wandering around the house going, you know, did anyone in the garage? You know, I checked the bike charger pulls 7 watts.
Instead, when it's just plugged in, not doing anything.
I wasn't sure it's charging, but that's what keeps the 12 volts topped off on the motorbikes. I was just wandering around going, what's drawing the current from that? No, what is it? What's going on? No, where's this power coming from? What is it?
7 watts is
Detective DJ.
Yeah, but my point was, it was saying it was drawing about 250 watts, give or take. That I could account.
Not attribute to anything.
I could account for about 40 watts. Something in my house is drawing 200 watts. I have no idea what it is. It's just, I just.
Oh, hold on! You said you had the problem with the immersion heater.
No, turn that off.
Oh, you have actually fixed that, have you?
No.
It's been too hot.
I can turn. No, the water's still too hot, but I can turn off. I mean, that was off. That was definitely off. I was like, no, it's not that. But yeah, I mean, just to make things more confusing, and I still haven't worked out what it is. I went downstairs and I'm like, right, it's pulling 250. Right, I'm turning off the fridge and the freezer. I went down, waited 10 minutes, had a look at the app, and it goes, now you're pulling 350. And it's like, what? The fridge was using negative 100 watts. That's not how it works. I'll work it out.
Inverter.
So the next thing is, are you obliged to have a smart meter? Because a lot of companies like pushing really hard to give smart meters now.
Well, I want a smart meter, but I'm not obliged to have one. No, the meter I've got already tracks off upload to the grid. So if somehow I do start uploading to the grid, I will start getting paid as of today. I think I get paid 5.5 pence a kilowatt hour. Yeah.
You're a Dr. Percentage though, aren't you?
No.
Oh.
Now I'm with you on. But yeah, it looks like I could buy panels. I could buy... maybe I could ring up with an accent saying, hello, I was thinking about getting solar panels from you. What type of solar panels do you do? Canadian solar, you say? Thank you so much. My name is Mr. Burns. And they're ringing back going, hello, I'm a bit disappointed. But yeah, I'm assuming they can just order them. If not, I can say, right, I will buy the panels. Can you fit them? And they're like, no. Then I'm like, right. Then I will go to other companies saying, hello. Because there's a company here that will just sell me 12 times solar panels, and they are 2 meters by 1 meter. So those ones are a very different sort of aspect ratio. So that's fine.
Is it though?
Less
You
than
sound very
programs.
upset about this whole thing.
Sorry, Tab, what was that?
Disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yes, I will tell them I am. I'm actually a little bit disappointed. Oh, hold on. I'm not cooking any heartbreeds either. All heartbreeds are getting turned into potions.
Oh, right. Sorry.
But unfortunately, we are seriously lacking slime. So we want something to do rather than chat about, the imminent end of the world.
No.
A lot more slime would be a great plan.
I have put some slime already in the one of the chests over there somewhere. See some of these planted up. My current chance of planting a gold item, I think, is 12%.
Let's see what mine is.
Cursor.
Gardening. My chance is 15. Oh, mine's 12%. I'm nearly there though. And
Are you rank 4?
I am rank 4. Yeah, but I'm at level 96.
I'm getting 9%. I'm misreading it.
Yeah, I'm at level 96. Or my chances of making a rare food is plus 10% right now.
Very helpful.
Where do I make better shovels? Not shovel. I want better hovel. What? It is shovels that dig up.
Use your words.
I want to dig up better slimes. What do I need?
Yeah, that's a shovel.
Wood, iron, and gold. Ugh, I don't have any of those. Ugh.
I'm confused. I thought you had to put slime down to attract slime, which you then killed, which you then got better slime from.
Yes, but we can make more slime occur and then dig it up and take it there. So I need to go and get slime to improve our slime.
Chances of having better mobs in the slimy farm.
No, just more. The more slime, each slime square has like a 1 in 1,000 chance per second of making a slime. So if you have 10 times as much slime, you get 10 times
as much chance.
You get 10 times as many slimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But we need floor slime to put down ground slime in order to generate slimes. Yeah, I'm a bit confused about the battery though. I don't understand why the battery hasn't aimed to drain itself quite quickly when the sun goes down. I don't know what it's waiting for. Right, my battery's now down to 38%. And it's supplying about 5% of my house's power? Maybe it's more there, so there's a sudden spike. The battery deals with it. Maybe the battery just very slowly deals with... it deals with spikes rather than anything else. So you don't pull that from the grid. Don't know. It's also possible I can configure it. There's an awful lot of configurations about how it works. Yeah, I guess I will give them a ring tomorrow. And I don't want to... I'm British. I want it to be right. And if it's not right, I'll be, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Unfortunately, this was a lot of money. So it's a bit difficult to go, no, that's fine.
Oh, it's a bitter pill to swallow, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, if they'd refunded me as much money as I think they should have, then I'd be a little bit less unhappy. And I'd be ringing them tomorrow going, what can we do about getting solar panels at the front? Do you do them? Do you know anyone who does do them? Can I just
shape?
Can I wire them up? Well, yeah, or quarter size, half size. Half size ones, I think you could get probably 8, maybe 10 on the front, which is not the equivalent of the 6 I was aiming for, but they'll tessellate better.
Are you getting more seeds?
There's shit tons in the box just to the south of the farm. Isn't it interesting? If you take this game in Valheim, they're not really that different, but this is just nice and relaxing and fun, whereas Valheim's just like a big pain in the ass. Valheim's just added the Dwarven Kingdom, and it's like, oh.
What?
Yeah, it was just such a everything was just a pain in that game. Like the combat and the running and the dying and the base building, and then having to keep building new bases out, and yeah. Yes, so I don't have what's called the UPS upgrade for my battery. So my house battery will not supply power in any way in case of a grid failure, because I don't have an island. Right, that's a lot more difficult.
Because otherwise you end up trying to put it out to trying to basically hold up the entire neighbourhood if you don't island.
Yes.
So the power goes out, the thing goes off.
Yes.
The power goes out regardless.
But I can get what's called a UPS upgrade for the battery, which essentially puts a plug socket on the battery. So it means if there is a power outage, I've got 5.5 kilowatt hours of power, hopefully, that I could,
repair? I've forgotten.
The repair bench.
Yeah, what does it look like?
It's top rightish. It's kind of
I haven't put it in the district yet. I will move it now that you said that. Because that is a good idea.
Okay. Whereabouts am I going, Taz? It's still top rightish.
Other way.
Top leftish.
Yeah, it's by the big ass table over here.
The big arse table.
Come back. Where'd you go? Oh, there you
go. I'm fairly sure, Skycast, if you were... If your power's out, I'm pretty sure even if you give your router power, you're not going to get the internet. I think that's a fairly safe assumption. Maybe. It's not like the old days where telephones ran from the exchange's power. So if the power cut, that was the only thing that worked was the phone. But
they'll be UPS backed.
Yeah.
Backed.
But your house needs power. And again, I don't know where you live, but in the UK, the house needs power. And then the box at the bottom of the street needs power. And then the local exchange needs power. And then all of the routers between you and your ISP need power. Like, a lot of things need to have power. It's not just you. But for me, what I'm hoping, you see, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can get these guys to go, yep, we'll help you out. You know, we want you to be happy. We want you to be satisfied, rather than going, yeah, I believe that the distance selling applies because I didn't get to see things. You know, as Malcolm said, you know, I'm not happy with this. You know, if you can't supply sub-bands that do fit, I'll find someone that does. Hopefully they go, yeah, but we'd lose loads of money at that point. Hopefully they go, yeah, let's find a solution so we're all happy. And what I can do, having looked it up, I can pay for the house batteries on the company card as long as I get the UPS upgrade. Because what I'm essentially doing there is if the house power goes down, which looks like it might be quite likely in December and January in the UK, I still get to work. Rather than going, did I charge
you're covering the servers that you're running there, keeping the servers up.
I do have a lot of servers in my house.
Yeah, so I think that's that, you know.
But I had a chat with Fornik, who's the guy who writes AMP. Like, that's just a thing. You can just say, I am running my servers at my house. These are for that. Oh, do they also save me money? Well, what a wonderful coincidence. But that's not their purpose. They're there to keep the stuff running. Don't punch that tab. What are you doing?
Healing the table.
Healing the table.
Wait, why is there... Hell yeah. Now, why was there... Oh, you can put all sorts of cool stuff on here. That's a very cool table.
What do you mean? A battery pack that sits idle is dying? I mean, batteries... Well, it depends on the chemistry. They do lose a little bit through time, but it's pretty minimal. A fully charged battery pack that's idle, yes, I will absolutely agree with you. But like a half-charged battery, it's just a half-charged battery. It doesn't really do anything.
There we have 2 repair tables now.
Whoa, fancy.
We're trying to be here. I'm working on it. I just hate how boring the floor is.
Oh, I'm sorry about the floor.
That's not your fault. It's the there's only so many different ways you could put pixels to make a floor.
There's a lot of different ways you can make pixels to make a floor, though. Like,
Not in this game.
Hundreds of. Well, there are. You can colorize stuff. You can paint stuff. We have an entire thing of paintbrushes here.
We do.
We do.
I have never used them.
Ah, well.
Take a paintbrush and go and colour. It's easy. You take the paintbrush, you slap the colour on the thing, and it becomes the colour. Really easy. Even someone you can grasp it.
Wow, he is American.
Yeah.
He's speaking witchcraft at me.
But yeah, ironically, one of the scaffolding guys, he has a mate who collects imprezzas, and he's keen to buy my car. I'm like, if you're interested, absolutely, make me an offer. I mentally know my yes, you can have it price, and I also know my
maybe price.
Go on then price, and I also know my no price. So
don't take the piss.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I've already had people. I get people occasionally come to the door to try and buy my car. That's
Really
genuinely. It's a bit weird. Like, yeah, no, you know. And one guy, what did he try? He tried to buy it off me for like $9,000 because he'd seen it, and sort of, I think he'd gone, ooh, oh yeah, nice comment, yeah. Have you ever thought about selling? I'm like, oh well, you know, if the right thing, and he offered me $8,000 for it, no $9,000, yeah, no $9,000 for it. And I was like, I know what you're trying to do, and that's naughty of you, bad man.
What was he trying to do?
Well, he was trying to buy an extremely rare and valuable car off me for chump change, on the hope
for $9,000 rather than the significant what it's actually worth. Yeah.
In the hope, I didn't know but it's one of those, and Tad will probably laugh. I think they use an American adverts. I know what I've got, no lowballing sort of thing. I know what I got, and in this case, I do know what I've got, and basically,
interested to know, just as a matter of, because I want to prove a point here, not against you, by the way, that the imprezza value is, on places like WeBuyAnyCar.com, for example, well known for ripping people off on car prices. So I want to be interested to know how much they actually offer you.
So the thing about those sites is what they'll do is they'll give you a really good offer on the website, and when you take it in, they'll be like, oh yeah, but there's this and there's that, and they'll try and beat you down. Basically, you know, now we've seen the car.
There's a scratch here, yeah. A scratch there that needs fixing. That's broken. Mark, didn't you change the cam belt? That's going to be expensive.
Yeah,
it's
that sort of thing. Whereas the problem is that my car's got to the point now where it's worth so much money that it's not just a click by done. People want to go over the entire service history, what's been done, what's not. Want to probably put it up on a lift, look on the side, check the compression, test it, all of those sort of things. So basically, TLDR, selling my car has turned into a huge fucking pain in the ass, which is probably half the reason I've still got it rather than anything else.
Convenience.
Well, I mean, I could sell it for $15,000 tomorrow without even trying. Almost definitely, no problems at all. I could probably get as much as $65,000 for it. And bear in mind, I paid $7,000 for this car.
Wow.
If someone offered me 45, I'd and I'd and I'd probably go, yeah, all right. I can go buy myself another car that makes me happy for 45,000. And the problem with the Impreza is it's fucking irreplaceable. If anything happens to any of the bits that are two-door related, there are no replacements. They just aren't. It was a rare car 25 years ago. It's a much rarer car today. So I'd rather not have to deal with that. I'd rather it's getting to the point now with its sort of state and its spec and its age and its quality. It's not quite museum quality, but it's definitely collector quality. Because you'll not find another, unmolested Impreza of this vintage, this type, this age.
Just got cooking. The smell of food to level 4, 16% plus 16% damage dealt by you and all nearby allies. I'm assuming it's going to be a good thing.
But yeah, when someone came around earlier, because he chatted with his mate, who does collect Imprezas, and he apparently just bought one, and he says his wife will kill him if he buys another one this week. And he goes, this week, and he just said, and this is the thing, I mean, when he's talking about, he goes, is it an actual Type R? Is it a Type RA? Is it an STI with a body kit? Is it an actual Type R? Is it a converted one? I'm like, nope, this is an actual Type R. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's definitely worth a few bob. And I love the car. I've had it for a very long time. It's in very good condition, but I'm just not sure where I would drive it. If I have a choice between driving that and driving the Tesla, I'll just drive the Tesla. The Tesla's a lot more fun, a lot cheaper to run. If I do break the Tesla, I can get the bits for it. You know, there's a lot of reasons to drive the Tesla over it.
So to me, it sounds like you're going to take the Tesla and drive it literally over the Impreza.
No, but I am taking the Tesla on a racetrack on Tuesday, and that will also help my decision. Because if the Tesla is like, oh god, this is awful on a racetrack, it's way too heavy, or oh my god, you know, it doesn't last very long, then I'll keep the Impreza. You know, that'll become my track car. I won't worry about how much it's worth. I will just enjoy the car for what it was designed to do. Or, I think more likely, no matter what the internet says, I'll go, holy shit, this thing is astounding on track. Bollocks to the old petrol car. So I had one guy, and he was basically saying that there's no point using a Tesla on a racetrack because on his local track, his car gets about 30 laps, whereas the Tesla gets 6. I was like, okay. I said, well, hold on a minute. You know, having driven my Impreza on racetracks, there's no racetrack in the country. If I'm driving properly, I get 30 laps out of it. You know, I get about 35 miles for full tank. And I said, well, how long's a lap? And he just said, doesn't matter. I'm like, well, yeah, but you're using. Well, you're using.
And the lap's like infinite distance.
Well, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. The point is that the Tesla did 6 and my car did 50. I'm like, 30. I said, okay, let's just assume for a moment, right, that the track is 1 mile long, 1 mile to a lap. Okay, that means that your car did 30 miles to a full tank. I will accept that. That is a valid figure. But then you're telling me the Tesla did 6 miles to a full tank? No. Or, let's say the laps are 5 miles long. That means the Tesla did 30 miles to a full tank. Again, I can accept that. But that means that your car did 150 to a full tank and I can't. So I'm like, you're lying. You're lying about what the Tesla does, or you're lying about what your car does, or you're driving the Tesla like a race car and you're driving your one round like it's like you're in a school zone.
Shopping cart.
Yeah,
it's like, zone, yeah.
But this is the thing. I'm going to find out for myself whether or not the Tesla is really good on racetrack, or whether or not I'm like, yeah, it's too heavy.
Is there a special racing mode to put in?
Yes. Oh, I have a special. Yes, I've got the performance on, which comes with the track mode, the big brakes, the active cooling system, the G-force meter, track recording. It comes with all the bells and whistles. But he might be right. I might only get 6 laps out of it. In which case, then, you know, EVs aren't ready for the prime time. But the thing is, having done quite a lot of racetrack stuff, like my Impreza, it's supposed to get something like 250 miles to a full tank. It doesn't, but it really doesn't on a racetrack. So I did Castle Combe with Andy and Emmy, and at lunchtime, I'm down to a third of a tank. So lunchtime, bear in mind, I've done about 18 miles. I'm down to a third of a tank. Andy's still on full, and the smart car's at 7 out of 8 bars. So if you've actually driven a powerful car on a racetrack, you have a very good idea that tank does not last very long. But if I drive my Impreza sensibly, compared to my Tesla sensibly, the Tesla gets like 100 miles more. You know, it gets a full 50% more. So I would assume if the Impreza does 35 miles on a racetrack, I would assume the Tesla does about 50 on a racetrack. I'll find out on Monday. And that will be the point where I make the decision about whether or not I'm going to keep the Tesla, or keep the Impreza, or trade it in for a, I don't know, like a little Mazda MX-5 or something, you know, something to tide me over until I can buy a hot hatch EV of some sort. I mean, I realise it's a very first world position to be in. My car is so rare and expensive, it's going to be difficult to sell. But I did find a company that will sell it for me, and they reckon I get
commission.
Well, they reckon I get 35 to 40,000. But the first step was they want 100 photos. They want photos of everything, or they'll send a photographer around and charge me for it. And I'm like, either of those seems like effort. I just want someone to go, I'll give you 50 grand for it, and I'm like, yeah, done. You know, the thing is, I've got spare bits for the car that are worth a small fortune. I've got like a replacement rear bumper. I've got the original WRX spoiler. They go for about 500 quid. I've got Oz racing wheels, which are on it right now. They're in the garden with the other tyres, but that's like £2,000 wheels. Again, they haven't made them in a quarter of a century. They are worth quite some money. So and I've got replacement headlights for it. I've got the original indicators before they were detangoed, which is a great phrase. I love it. Oh, which Todd won't get. Oh, the indicators are clear, not orange. So you put orange bulbs in them. So basically, otherwise, when the indicator's not off, it looks a bit ugly because you've got the orange indicators on a blue car.
Oh, neat. That's kind of cool.
So what's kind of cool?
The way that the light bulbs rather than the shell over it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you know how awkward it is to buy orange indicator bulbs?
Orange light bulb.
Yeah. So in Japan,
I see them at the place.
Yeah, in Japan, you see, they are. But then I found out. Oh god, I'm going to get this wrong now. I bought a bunch of bulbs. They were orange bulbs for indicators, but they were wrong because in Japan they screw it in the other direction in their old cars.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, basically I take them back. They go, oh, you need left-hand bulbs or right-hand bulbs or offset bayonet. Oh no, that was it. Offset. So that was it. It wasn't direction. In the UK, bayonet bulbs have the little pins either side of each other. In Japan, bayonet bulbs, the pins are offset by like 15 degrees.
Huh.
Yeah,
because we're different. Oh my.
Well, no, it was a Japanese.
You were super amused.
I was like, what? But I basically at the back and go, they don't fit. They go, well, what car have you got? And I said, it goes, oh, it's Japanese import. Yeah, you need these. I was like, right, okay, why are these different? Like, what's going on?
That is a good question. Excuse me?
I mentioned this before about, I'll say not playing the game. I enjoy being in a world with my friends. That's why I like No Man's Sky. That's why I like, say, SnowRunner. We're doing stuff, chatting, and then, there's a game to sort of, pardon me, vaguely occupy my eyes and my hands, but you guys are occupying my thoughts and my ears.
Aww.
This maybe not the best.
The most soppy thing you've ever said.
I'm not sure it is. Get out of my ears.
You're all occupying my heart and my mind.
Yeah.
I've just been. I've kind of realised I was like, nah, I'm not really interested in playing CoreKeeper at the moment. But I've been kind of listening about it and just browsing the interwebs.
Now.
I might go and watch the rest of a film that I was watching earlier.
Oh, how far? What you've the thing is, you're not watching it properly. Some films you really need to watch it in the cinema and not to check your phone.
No, I've been watching it. When I was actually watching it, I was actually watching it, but it's
not as good as Thor Ragnarok, obviously, but it's better than Thor: The Dark World.
It's taking itself seriously at all.
Well, yeah, but
it is very well made, and there are some funny bits in it. But it's like I'm sat there going, okay, but where's this going? Because currently it seems like a drug-addled, crazed dream.
I mean, did you not watch Thor Ragnarok?
Yes, exactly. Like this seems more. This makes that seem normal.
Now, I liked it, but I Taika Waititi's humour very, very much.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah,
very much gels with me. I've been watching his original thing. It was a spin-off of What We Do in the Shadows called Wellington Paranormal. It's about it's like a fly-in-the-wall documentary about some police officers. but they have to deal with stuff like, demon possessed teenagers and werewolves. Very good. But yeah, it's really well done. But yeah, and What We Do in the Shadows is obviously a brilliant film and show. So I like him. I haven't watched She-Hulk yet. Actually, I'm behind. So I haven't watched She-Hulk or Rings of Power yet.
I haven't seen that one,
but I have seen. I have seen Lord of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings. What's it called? Not the other one. Rise of the Dragon. Rise of the Dragon. No, what's the other thing? House of the Dragon. Thank you.
Yeah, I've seen both House of the Dragon and Lord of the Rings. You know what? So far, I'm looking forward to Lord of the Rings more.
Well, did you watch the again? No spoilers, but did you watch the last episode of House of the Dragon, the third episode?
Yeah.
What did you think of Matt Smith's performance?
Worse.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's hilarious. I think it's just I can't watch him in this and just go, why is Doctor Who in this TV show? Because the thing for me is I never watched really Jodie Comer because I don't think she's Jodie Comer. No.
Jodie Whittaker.
Whatever her name is.
Jodie Whittaker.
I don't think she's a very good doctor at all.
Okay,
to be honest. But back to that's the last one I really properly saw.
But that's not what I didn't ask you things that. I asked what his performance was like in the last episode as an actor, regardless of he's the Doctor.
Fine, but I don't think he's a particularly good actor in this. That's the thing.
Wow. So I'm going to have to disagree with you there, because what was your favourite line?
You mean in your opinion?
No, not in my opinion. In everyone's opinion except yours. What was your favourite line from the last episode that he said?
No. You can be pedantic. Is that a fact? Everyone else in the entire world who's seen it apart from mine. You're sticking with that, are you?
Everyone that's mentioned it has gone, oh my god. But in the last episode, what was your favourite line he did?
Oh, I can't remember. Why?
He didn't say a single word the whole episode. And when I read that, I was like, holy shit, he didn't as well. It was such a good episode. He got so much information across, and he was a really, really good actor. And I know what you mean, because for me, it's like, it's Doctor Who. I said I work with Matt Smith. He's a lovely bloke. But I'm like, hey, he's Doctor Who. He is Doctor Who. He was so good at it.
He isn't Doctor Who. He is just the thing he's most recognisable for was Doctor Who, because he did it very well.
He did.
And he played the character very well. And the thing is, he played it like I would expect like a Doctor to behave. And they all seem to embody the same character.
Yes.
Yeah, they all seem. Fezzes are cool. They all bring certain things to the table, but they all play the same character. But they play the same character in their own kind of way.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jodie Whittaker played the same character. It doesn't feel like the same character.
I don't think that's any Jodie Whittaker. I think it's more the writers than anything else.
You're right. It probably is. It probably is. But to be honest, I think the writer. I think actually, to be honest, as her as an actor, I think she's fine. I don't think the character that she portrays is very good, and I also think the backup actors are just terrible.
I did very much like the inclusion of a dyspraxic character. Inclusion
for the first episode. You mean?
For 3/4 of the first episode, they went. It's like they went, this is a terrible idea, having a character who, due to a physical condition, will fall over and trip a lot. Like, actually, this was a stupid idea, and then they just never mentioned it again. Like, not at all, as far as I know.
James May from Top Gear, but it's all right, kids. He got better. Like it's like, no, that's not really how it works.
And Palpatine returned for some reason.
Oh man. It's just I watched it. The thing is, it's less about entertainment and more kind of what kind of things can they try and teach people today, but they when they want to just watch some escapism. No, it's not interesting anymore. I'd rather be taught properly about something like they actually want to kind of teach you as a lesson and entertained by something that's actually entertaining. Not the other way around.
Well, I learned an awful lot about Partition from Ms. Marvel and RRR.
Yeah.
Incidentally,
but that wasn't. It wasn't trying to teach you that necessarily. It just happened to be part of it, and it was actually trying to entertain you, and that just happened to be the topic area that I talked there about. Because the thing for me is, I didn't actually technically learn anything about it. I then went, I'm going to Google this and find out more about it.
Yes, because as a British person, we don't get taught about that very much. Have you seen RRR, by the way? It's the biggest. It's Tollywood, not Bollywood, but it is a. It's an Indian film. It's an Indian. We'll say Bollywood because it's easy to explain.
Yeah.
It is fucking amazing because I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm made to watch this. Oh yeah, whatever. And then after like 10 minutes, I'm like, holy shit. And after 45 minutes, I was like, wow, that was a real roller coaster of a movie. I just can't believe how awesome that was. And it's like, there are 2.25 hours left to go. Like, oh god, it is astounding. It is. Actually, let me find it. Let me hold on. RRR.
Send it to me
because it's.
Please, Adam.
Why is there cork on the display?
I'm.
Oh. That kind of cork.
See my reply.
Yeah. What?
So the best bit is before the film starts. It says, disclaimer, no animals or birds were harmed during the making of this film. Horses, oxen, birds, tigers, wolf, bears, leopards, deer, fish, and snakes shown in the movie are all computer generated. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but at one point, a man throws a snow leopard at another man. This film is insane, and I genuinely cannot recommend it enough.
Now, I know that's not necessarily in keeping.
I love you so much.
but does he say Hadouken when he does it?
No, he doesn't.
No. That's
so I will because the film actually covers some.
The snow leopard.
The film covers some Indian national heroes, but allow me to paraphrase into English. Okay, it is if Guy Fawkes and Robin Hood got together to overthrow the French invading forces. That would be my sort of.
Where do I watch this film?
It's on Netflix.
It's just straight up bad. It's great.
But it's again. I was genuinely not like, oh yeah, but it grew on me very fast, and I'm just watching it, going, how could it top this? And it does. How could it top that? And it does. It's just fantastic.
Just absolutely off the rails. Insanity, and you're so there for it.
But yeah, because
Bollywood.
Essentially, I had to look up who they were because you've got these two characters, and it's the most unbelievably epic bromance ever. And then I was like, who are they? And then I looked them up, and they're basically, I'm not joking, it's like Guy Fawkes and Robin Hood got together and teamed up against the bad guys. Because they are both real characters from history, not born even slightly close together. So yeah, if you've got, actually, how long is that? It's got some great songs in it as well. Like these are genuinely great. Yeah, 3 hours and 7 minutes. It's not a short film because it's Tollywood. But as I said, after 45 minutes, I was like, wow, that was a great film. Wiggle the mouse, going, there's an awful lot of film left.
We heard you like this film, so we got you more film for your film.
I didn't know CoreKeeper did an analysis of it. If you watch, there's a pitch meeting about it as well, if you've not seen that.
Oh, man.
But yeah, again, if you are on the fence, allow me just to say it again. One man in a fight throws a snow leopard at another man. And that's
it makes perfect sense. That's
the part
that really just makes it so wild.
I don't know if have you seen the Indian Terminator film?
Oh,
where
no, but I can imagine this sounds amazing.
No, you can't. No, it's not.
No, like the wrong kind of amazing.
But the Terminator makes more Terminators, then it morphs into a giant Terminator made out of Terminators.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's yeah, it's not like that. The production values are generally fantastic.
Non-existent.
No, in RRR, the production values are generally fantastic. Like very, very, very good. Very good effects.
I'm just looking at a tiny bit. Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix. Yes. It's the most popular They said it's called Tollywood because of the language it's in. Also, the album, because I listened to the album comes on 12 CDs because many of the songs they re-recorded in 5 or 6 different languages. So when the songs were not normalized, what's the word? Nationalized? Localized, thank you. But not English. I was like, oh, that would have been nice. And it's good just to watch a film that I describe the style of the film as naive in a good way, in a positive way. The film is just cheerfully and gleefully ridiculous, like it's a 13-year-old boy somehow making a really, really good film, but with all of the common sense and restraint that 13-year-olds generally have, which is to say none at all. Do we actually know where the next boss is? We haven't gone exploring. We've set up an entire base where stuff comes to us, and I've spent the rest of the day cooking.
Well, I'm here just rearranging everything. Oh, 10-5-1.
Now, I am planning on doing Astro Trucks tomorrow because I want to get more. I've done so much. I want to get more play testing. I've also come across a guy who's he's a reasonable sized YouTuber streamer man, and he is so unbelievably excited for Astro Trucks. I could not believe it. I'm like, are you
awesome?
Are you alright then, mate? Because oh my god, it's brilliant! Oh my god, everyone, look at this! Look, he's doing Euro Truck Simulator in space. I'm like, I am, but I can't put that on the Steam page. I don't think. And I will try it because, as I said, it looks like someone has created a mod for Euro Truck Farming Simulator that gives motion support. But I don't know whether or not that gives motion support on the Game Pass build or only on Steam.
Yeah, he did in fact throw a leopard at another man.
Yeah, I'm not making it up. I thought it was a snow leopard, but like everything I said to you was absolutely factual with no sort of twisting at all.
Elaboration. Yeah. And in context, it probably makes perfect sense with the film. That's the part that's the best about it.
I mean, if you
that's completely reasonable. He threw a leopard at another person.
It's like if you've not seen Shaolin Soccer or Kung Fu Hustle, there's similar sort of completely mad films.
Shaolin Soccer is hilarious.
Yes. Have you seen Kung Fu Hustle done by the same people?
I think I have.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But not for a long time. Yeah. I've seen Shaolin Soccer twice. But when someone says he brought a gun to a knife fight, no, I brought a knife to a gunfight. No, I brought a snow leopard.
I love it.
Right. I am off because my PC's complaining at me about restarting for an update, but I'm also going to carry on watching that film.
What, you're going to watch all of RRR? Because he'll be there till 2.
RRR.
Oh.
Not a pirate film,
no.
no.
Actually, just one more thing before you go. So the film is called RRR, and it stands for, sort of, it's something like Rise Up, Revenge, Revolt. That's what they say, but it's not. What it actually is, it's an acronym of the 2 main characters and the director. So let's just assume, for sake of argument, that James Cameron did a film with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, and they just called the film JAS. So this film it's been backroned into Rise, Revolt, Revenge, but it actually is just the name of the first initial of the 2 main actors and the director. They just, as I said, backroned it.
Cool. And they don't just really like pirates.
No, it's not R.
They might.
But yeah, I will keep you posted tomorrow with lots of pictures of all the readouts from my solar system, because I'm
please do. I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued as well, because I mean I've got quite a lot of solar panels, but they are in about the worst bloody place they could be in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever I get, anything else is going to be better.
The problem you have is you don't have. How do I explain it? You don't have an overview
I don't have a.
You have an overview of your consumption, so you can see your consumption versus your generation.
Yeah.
You need it on like a bar graph.
Yeah, I do. You're joking. This thing's got insane.
Not a bar graph, sorry. Not a bar. Like a line, like a chart, like a line chart, effectively.
Hold on,
just to say, like for instance, with this time of day, the consumption went up to this, and then the generation to this.
Yes.
And export that. Yeah.
If you stop talking for just 1.5 seconds. The problem I've got is I don't have much data. I've only got a little bit of data.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh. Let's pop that on the future channel. Yeah,
the future. I like the future channel, by the way.
Okay, good. It's got lots and lots of things. So that there is. I've just had. That's just photovoltaic PV solar panel versus load
battery.
No, that's not
system on a chip.
State of charge. Yeah, I turn those. Okay. I mean, I can turn those on, but I just turn those off so I could just. So I was just comparing there. So basically, pink is electricity usage, green is solar. So you can see at what point since I got it, the solar was out running.
Oh, I understand what they're doing, but that's I was trying to work out what brown is.
Well, browns where they draw over each other, yeah.
Yeah, which is horrific as a way of doing it. So like, is that the grid? Or, that's a horrific way of doing it.
I think that might just be pink plus green is brown.
Yeah, that's really, really, really bad. But yeah, I think you're right.
But yeah,
if you look between 4:50 and 5 o'clock, you can see that time. Yeah.
Yeah, but basically you can see between 10 to 6 and 20 past 6. That's where I'm wandering around going, what's using up all the power in my bloody house? So yeah, I'm only getting most. That's quite late in the day, to be fair. But I want to see tomorrow a graph of the day. You can also spot the bit where I made a pot noodle. Can you spot the pot noodle?
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, and then I don't know. You can't really tell, but I'd also made a build, but the power went up quite a lot while my PC is running 500 watts, not 200 watts.
650 to a 7.
Actually, hang on, let me just grab a.
Yeah.
I made this so pretty. Go me.
You're doing a good job.
I'm trying.
Thanks for rearranging it, making it more useful. I do appreciate that.
But yeah, you can see with the state of charge slowly going down. You can see all the bits and the bobs. But it's quite cool.
The state of the charge going down.
You can see state of charge is the blue line at the top, so you can see state of charge slowly going down. But I don't know why it's going down so slowly.
The blue line on that.
No, the picture in the Friends and Family channel.
Oh, okay, so a different place, right?
Yes, because.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really funny. The fact that the way they've made that interesting.
But it's surprising that basically quite soon I'm gonna go to bed and turn off my computer and everything. Well, I'm not. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna go and start a bit of Astro Trucks, then get that done for bed. But I'm gonna go to bed with about a quarter of my battery left, which is silly because I want the battery empty every morning when the solar comes up because I want to fill the battery up during the day. But if the battery's not empty, then I don't have anywhere to put the power. I suppose I could. Oh, I can't. Wait.
I'll finish
the sentence. Tesla.
I don't at the moment for reasons of organisation. But turn on garage power.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on garage power. Oh, right. My motorbike's charging.
You're welcome.
What I
Good
thought
devices.
What I thought I might do is I need to come up with a name, but I need a name something like "It's really sunny out and my battery is full," and then put my electric Hoover on there and my Ryobi, anything that's rechargeable, have them all in one place, so I can just turn them all on with one plug when I've got lots of surplus power.
Yeah, just really, really simple. Hey Alexa, burn energy.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I can
schedule all sorts.
Yeah, but the schedule doesn't work because
consume.
Alexa, consume. No, don't do it.
Consume.
I can't do it on a time of day because I don't know whether or not it's sunny out or whether the battery's full or whatever. It's possible with other apps, because I linked the one earlier. It is possible to fully automate this and script it, but to quite frank, I have enough things in my life I will fiddle with. It's not that much effort just to go grab my phone and just start the Tesla charging.
When you're at the house.
No, it's.
But the thing is, well, not at the house, sorry. Yeah, but when you're able to, like, you're not going to do it as you're driving down the road. And
no, but I could.
You go, oh shit, I forgot to turn it on. For 3 hours.
I could start the Zero up though remotely. Because I'm using Alexa via my phone, so it doesn't matter where I am, it will start it up.
All you really need to do is set up like a trigger, basically to say if the battery storage is above X%.
Yeah, but
and
I need
I
need a piece of software to link it all together, which is that Solar Manager one. And it's
Solar Manager, or is it Solar Manager or Home Assistant, etc. But them tied together because you want loads of inputs as well. And I don't know what Solar Manager gives you. It's probably more control and outputs from. Or inputs from the solar side of things, but not anything else.
Yes.
Because with Home Assistant, for instance, you can also like read in like web local. Is it like Weather Underground? I think, or various things like that. Basically, to say what's the current temperature, what's the current time of day, or sunset, sunrise between the 2 days. You can do all that stuff. What's the general cloud coverage? You can get all that information from those APIs.
I mean, to be quite honest,
dump stuff, by the way.
Well, I don't know what stuff is. What stuff?
Armor.
I don't really got anywhere.
Unused armor. I'll stick it in this one. It seems to have rings and things on it.
Okay. No, the thing is, I don't have to do any of that. If the house battery's full, it's a really fair and safe assumption it's sunny. Otherwise, the battery wouldn't be full. Like.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. As an example, it makes sense if you think about it. Like. What you want it to do is basically things like if the car's there, and it's a certain time of day, and your battery is. I'm trying to think of the exact use case, but there's certain things where, for instance, you don't want your power to go into the car. You want it to go into the battery. For instance, if it's getting towards the end of the day, and you're not going to use your car the next day, you don't need to fill your car up, but your battery would probably want to be as full as possible to survive the evening or night.
Yeah. So you want to say if power generation of solar greater than house draw and battery full. Incidentally, I guess it's going to take a little while to update.
Let me just interject though, because you're right. I know exactly. Well, I pretty much know. I think you're going to say. But my point is, of course, as it goes towards winter and you have fewer hours of sunlight, etc., that already make a big difference. But of course, the other thing you want to know is if, for instance, your plan in your calendar is to drive from place X to Y, and it's going to be a lot of power, you want to fill your car up because you don't care about the house. You're not going to be in the house to use it. So you can also then tie it into things like your calendar to work out what you're doing. So you can do that with. Well, you can do that with, for instance, like Google Calendars, and like if it put in, for instance, where you work and what days you're in the office, etc. Those things will do that stuff. That's what like Home Assistant actually do, which is kind of crazy.
So I'm a bit terrified though about my Raspberry Pi interrogating my Google Calendar and a Chinese website that runs the cloud management of my solar inverter in order to fire a command to my Tesla to start it charging based on how far I'll be going from my house. Like GDPR just rolled over in its grave right then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just waiting for this.
Give the Chinese the information.
I'm just waiting for this to update because it still says I'm drawing. There we go. I'm now drawing 2,300 watts.
What are they going to do? They're going to look at it and be like, Mr. Adams charging his car, or we can do very big damage with that. What?
Bear in mind, if these people have got, they can ascertain an awful lot of information that's not necessarily readily available with this. Incidentally, I'm now pulling 2,300 watts in the house, of which 2,200 are coming from the mains, and 33 is coming from the battery. So I'm beginning to wonder if the battery can only supply 33. I know it can supply more. It can supply, it's a lot of amps.
Breaker on it.
200 amps, I think the battery can supply.
1.2 gigawatts?
Like, it can supply more current than my fuse box will take. But it's only supplying 33. And maybe I have extra questions for Brookfield tomorrow going, excellent. Well, find a bunch of half-height solar panels. Also,
I would like you to show that website that you're looking at and go and I mean, they're not saying, of course you can't control it. You can't control it. You can control it from an app. I'm very confused now.
Wait, what can't I control?
You can access your... Is it Wi-Fi enabled then?
Yes. And it's uploading to the cloud my information all the time.
Yeah, but you can't access that. But you want to do something with the Raspberry Pi and you can't access that without an Ethernet cable. What?
No, it's not an Ethernet. Well, yeah. So...
USB to Ethernet,
it's USB to Ethernet. And basically that just plugs straight into the box. Part of that is so you don't go through the cloud interface. Because, I mean, bear in mind, I'm a security conscious person, but I'm not paranoid because I know for a fact I'm not very interested. And even I go, all of the electricity data about my house is being stored on a Chinese cloud server somewhere. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm all that.
You're never going to get around. You're never going to get away from that, though.
Yeah.
Unless you turn off the Wi-Fi from your device, in which case you're never going to be able to use the smart feeds of it.
Well, so it is because then you see I could use the Raspberry Pi, which is fine because I control.
You're telling me that you can use the Raspberry Pi without to remotely control it.
Yes.
Okay.
But my
banana.
My banana, yeah. But I said I'm just slightly concerned about. Oh, there wasn't any discussion, by the way. Bear in mind, I'm pretty technical. I'm pretty good. So I'm like, because I was like, where's the web interface? I was expecting the inverter to throw up a web server. I wasn't expecting my inverter by default to continually send data over my internet connection to China so I can access it via a website. That I was not expecting. Then it wasn't mentioned at any point, which was, yes, again, all your data is being sent, whatever. But there was no indication at any point during the entire installation process that this was a thing. It was only when I looked into it afterwards went, okay. And I assumed a web server. That's what happens, with a lot of devices. They just throw up a web page that you can interact with. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure Tony don't really care about what I'm doing. But yeah, it does look like my battery is only discharging at 33 watts. So I don't think it's any... Well, I guess it's still free, isn't it? Yeah, I guess I'll discharge the whole battery into the 0 tonight, just so the battery's flat, and then I can see how much I get in first thing in the morning. I don't care what anyone thinks. I find this shit really interesting. I've always loved batteries.
I think it is. I think it is interesting. What's one thing that's kind of more interesting to me recently about that is because I work with a couple of South African colleagues remotely, and they've been having brownouts recently because of lack of energy.
Yeah.
When I say rolling brownouts, where they basically say, "Hey, our government's told us we're going to have 4 hours of no electricity today."
Yeah.
So they all have generators, solar, all that kind of stuff. Everything.
I love the way that's a brownout because it's planned. It's still the same effect. Doesn't matter if I planned it or not.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, you haven't got enough power because everyone's burning all the energy, so your area can't be on the grid for a while. So good luck with your generators. Bye.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's different though because all of their systems are designed to be redundant to the point where, they're off grid basically. They don't burn gas or diesel or petrol, whatever they're burning the generators. Unless if they're on the grid, they just go, shit, I have to do it for a while.
Yeah.
Whereas here, for instance, as an example with your system, if the power from the grid goes down, you're still screwed.
I will be getting
it's not designed to be a UPS in the first.
Yeah, well, I will be getting the UPS upgrade for it, which I say quite literally gives me a plug socket on the battery. Given my usual power usage, I could easily run for a couple of hours off the battery. If I was, marginally careful, I could probably run 5+ hours off the battery. And my hope is that I can get substantially more panels on the front of the house, and then a lot more battery, because then I can run off grid or not. As long as on average over several days there's enough sun, I never need to pay any electricity again, apart from my £180 a year standing charge, of course. For the privilege of being allowed to upload electricity. That's a good point. So what's that? 180 times 0.05. Oops. 180/0.05. That's 3.6 kilowatts. I need to upload to the grid. No.
Uploading.
Yeah, 180 times 0.05 is 9.
Are you loading electricity or downloading electricity as well?
No, hold on.
Download the energy, would you?
180.00. That's 180 pounds. How many 5 pence is in that? I need to multiply it by 0.0005. Not 9. 3,600? No. 5 times 3,600. 5 times 3,600.
We need more drills.
Is 18,000.
We got the materials for it.
Actually, no, ignore that. We need more octarine. How do we get more octarine? Just drill octarine?
I think we are. It might be arriving. Yeah, I need to upload 3,600 kilowatts to the grid in order to pay for my standing charge.
2.6 gigawatts. Megawatts. No, megawatts.
Megawatts. Yeah, that's ridiculous. What the
That's only, you're assuming 5 pence a kilowatt hour.
5.5, thank you so much.
Yeah, but Octopus do all sorts of things, so I don't know why you don't change your provider.
Because it's not that simple. Oh. So the moment you get into, I've got an advantage here, they will screw you somewhere else. So for example, if you've got a cheap night tariff, you'll get more expensive day tariff. If you're on flexible,
like me,
holy shit, if you start buying electricity at 5:45 in the afternoon, you are seeing £2 a kilowatt. But if you buy
Agile, right?
Agile, yeah, that's the one. But if you see it at different times, so there are other ones where there's an off peak, and the off peak's hilarious. It's like 4 hours of off peak.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah, but off peak is between midnight and 4:30 a.m.
Yeah,
like that's
better to sell it for any price than no price at all.
Yeah, but that's not really off peak, is it? Like that's for 4 hours of the day.
Correct, but it also used to be a case of you'd get half price for half, like, you know, for a couple of hours, like 6 hours a day or something like that. This is much less than half price, and for 4 hours a day, you can. There's no like limit on how much you use. It's just as much as you can possibly consume.
Yeah. So
I've offset half of my house's consumption of a day into the night, into those 4 hours so far.
Yeah,
tumble drying, dishwashing, and so forth.
Yeah, car charging. So basically, currently, my consumption average, if you take over the course of the day, is about 22 pence per kilowatt hour.
Yeah, so my nighttime unit rate would be 38. Say nighttime, it would be 38 pence. So I'd be paying nearly 50 pence more for electricity. So I would have to make sure I spend nearly all of my electricity in that 4 hour window. But of course, one thing you can do is to fill up a battery with that. But I did the maths on this earlier. The payback is horrific doing it that way. It was
the battery doesn't store much.
No, it's not that. It's the batteries. It's about £5,000 for 5 kilowatt hours. That's approximately what it costs. So if I discharge it and fill it,
£5,000 for 5 kilowatt hours.
It's about
of storage.
Yeah,
not of electricity. Okay.
Yeah, it's about. But the problem is, if I fill it off cheap rate and then use that, it's something like 2,400 days payback. It's a long time. So
this is really slow.
Yeah, it's not.
Did you bring more drills?
No, I don't have to make them. I didn't know if it needed a special kind of drill.
I'm just amazed.
You can put more drills around it, but I don't even make the wires.
I found out what your inverter.
The wires are already there.
Okay. Let's go make some drills.
Doesn't have an API. It calls and uploads data directly to.
What are you talking about? The Raspberry Pi thing?
No, your inverter. Currently, I think it doesn't have like as you said, a web API or anything like that. You can actually. It just sends information to an external thing.
Yes.
I wonder if you can packet sniff it and see what it's sending and interact and find out what it's sending in what format and then grab it that way.
I mean, the Raspberry Pi thing's not too bad. I mean, it's.
Can you forward it? If you can find out what it's sending where and it's something you can in actual format, you can actually see if it's like just like something stupid like HTTP.
Yeah,
unencrypted.
It's definitely HTTP something. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It could be S.
Yeah.
If it's unencrypted JSON, you could basically just say, "Hey, whenever you're going to that address, like just reroute it to this address, and then have that."
X is eating the heartberries.
What is?
But you're right.
Oh, sure.
A lot more work than you want to do. But it'll be interesting though.
It's telling me I've made 10 pence uploading electricity to the grid. That's
Not uploading.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, it's telling me my revenue today was 10 pence, which is obviously bollocks. I've only made 1.6 in total, so that's wrong. I did tell it how much my upload was. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I told it my upload price is 0.05 pence.
You're not streaming it though, and I want to see it.
Oh,
I'll do it live on Discord because it's so slow on there.
Yeah, as I said, I can't really share that. I'll put it onto.
You need 10 iron and 10 scarlet perp drill.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I grabbed the scarlet and the.
Those animations are simultaneously amazing and terrible at that.
I know.
Which bench
You need to make 7. This red one right here.
But it says
make 7 of them.
It says I've made 10 pence despite exporting 0.
Okay, I'll put them back in.
Yeah, so that.
If you go to the equipment tab, I can't really see the whole thing. You're only sharing certain parts of it, knowingly.
Good.
No. I am showing.
7.
There we go.
Let's go.
That's better. Gateway. Offline. The gateway tab.
Still got
I have
new ocean biomes music.
I have 1 normal gateway and 0 offline gateways.
Have you tried to navigate to the IP that it's actually connected on?
No, I haven't, but only because I did a lot of searching. Basically, can it be done? And no one anywhere. They just said use the app, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but yeah,
but you haven't seen anyone say I've tried it. No, some work.
But yeah, apparently the inverter's 33 degrees right now. So yeah, I think Max, I didn't mention this. This is one of my suspicions. It might be that 200 watts was the energy loss in converting the whatever it is DC from the. No, it should be DC. Anyway, charging the battery might lose you 200 watts. That was just a guess. I don't have anything to back that up with, but that was something we maybe.
The battery is DC, the solar panels are DC, but if it's supplying to the rest of the house or the grid, it's AC, right? But that should be powered by.
But it's different voltage. You will need to transform the voltage. There's no way the voltage coming off the solar panels is right for the battery, so it will be transformed. Incidentally, I can't remember, but I also looked at the frequency of the grid. It's all over the fucking shop. Our grid is.
Did you see the screenshot I sent you? Earlier, that's the screenshot. Sorry, the photo I sent you. It tells you the voltage and amps, etc., coming into the house.
No, my electricity grid has gone between 50.5 and 47 hertz today. I was like, bloody hell, that's all over. Maybe that was the moment he plugged it in. Again, I will check tomorrow, make sure it is actually wired up. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just amused that.
Are they meant to be coming back then?
Well, only to get the money.
In which case you'd expect to come down then. Yeah.
Facing the wrong way.
When you set it down, click E on it, I think.
Yeah, frequency.
I'm not using the keyboard. I'll tell you what, if you know
how to do it. I'll click E on it.
Let me. Oh, okay. So I just put them down, do I?
Yeah, just put them down. I got it. No, that's right. Yeah.
But it's got lots of fun stats. I've got an app that does exactly this thing.
When it says my plants.
Yeah, well, so it's a power plant, I suppose. And then you can set a map of where they are. So yeah,
Yeah.
For some reason I don't seem to be able to click. There we go. And this is the fun dashboard. Oh, is my 0? I don't think my 0.
Should all be right.
No,
the
square here. The square here.
Oh.
Good check.
Oh wait, over here too.
Is my garage power on or is it off? Power is off. Device is unresponsive. What? What if my garage has caught fire?
Well,
that would be unfortunate.
If the device is unresponsive, it's not either connected to the Wi-Fi, which would be a weird one, or it's not got power.
You mean like it's tripped?
Yeah. Either it's it could have tripped.
Shouldn't it? Oh, hang on, okay. It says server is unresponsive.
Oh crap.
So is unresponsive in what? The
garage power on. Is garage power on? Alexa, is garage power on?
Jupiter whoop.
Alexa, is garage power on?
Alexa sounds so good. Remind me to buy one.
Well, I'm using the app, and it's just like
garage power isn't responding. Please check its network connection and power supply.
I mean, it gave you valid information.
Yeah, earlier it went, is there a light plugged into this? It's like, no, there's a motorbike, but that wasn't an option. I assume she'll do something. She'll say, oh, there's a light plug that you can turn it off and on and stuff. Anyway, I am going to stop streaming and start a build. I like it. I know we didn't achieve anything, CoreKeeper, but I do like just hanging around in things. But yeah, I will.
So we have bumped up Octarine production.
Awesome. I would say I will be doing Astro Truck tomorrow if we want to break some stuff and just do more chatting.